It's the biggest party of the summer. SummerSlam week is officially upon us. What's going on out there, world? It's your boy Tommy on the spot for Watch Along Wrestling. Hopefully everyone is doing well and staying safe. It's so great to be back here with each and every one of you. And you know, if you're a fan of WWE, I'd say probably pretty close to unanimously, your favorite time of the year is probably Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania. I even push it back just a little bit, and I say the first Raw of the year until WrestleMania. That's when things are at their most unpredictable, and your stories are kind of climaxing at the same time at the biggest show of shows, which is now a full weekend show, and that being WrestleMania. But I'd say if you're looking for your second most exciting time of the year, it's probably the summer. There's always one or two big angles for the summer that usually start around Money in the Bank and lead up to SummerSlam. It's one of my favorite times of year to be a fan. It always has been since I was a little kid. And I'd say perhaps none were more exciting than just 2 years ago, SummerSlam 2021. For those who have been following the channel for a while, thank you so much. And you know that I went to SummerSlam 2021 in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was one of the most exciting trips I had ever been on. If you remember, WWE had obviously done the Performance Center for a bit and did the Thunderdome during the pandemic, and even though there was a limited capacity of fans at WrestleMania 37, the night after, they went right back to the Thunderdome, and let me tell you, that was pretty deflating. This led to a really fun weekend there in Texas, Money in the Bank weekend 2021. Coming out of that show, you had two really fresh new faces with the Money in the Bank briefcases in Nikki ASH, who's obviously Nikki Cross, and then Big E, which I thought was just awesome and certainly well-deserving. And then you had the return of John Cena, setting forth the summer of John Cena. He came back, he did pretty much a whole bunch of live events. It wasn't only the televised shows. And this, of course, led to his big match with Roman Reigns at SummerSlam 2021. And for me, sitting at home now for about a year and a half, hadn't gone to any wrestling shows. Yes, if you look back at the archives, 2019, we were at like 10 different shows, and they were like not even that close. We went to the Rumble in Arizona. We went to NXT in Connecticut. We were all over the place and had so much fun as we really launched this channel here of Watch Along Wrestling. I'd say to that next level of really what it is today, with going to so many shows and the live experience being something that everyone can kind of come with me on if you can't make the show yourself, hopefully bringing that live experience to you. And then, of course, end of 2019 comes, and it's right into the pretty much the start of the pandemic towards the beginning of 2020, where there aren't any shows. Personally, we had our first child. I had taken on a job with much more responsibility, and that had me traveling from New York to Connecticut pretty much every single day. So with all that being said, there just wasn't that much time for me to go to wrestling shows, and then wrestling shows just stopped happening in 2020. So for us, we looked at this 2021 SummerSlam as our reintroduction to starting to go back to shows. And if you go back into the archives, you could see our entire trip to SummerSlam, and it was a lot of fun. It was an incredible trip. And so what I decided to do is, rather than talk to you guys about that trip, I'm going to actually set up 5 separate videos going back and looking at each one of these vlogs. I was actually sitting here and I was like, you know, I'm getting pumped now. It's SummerSlam week, right? Why not go back and relive this entire trip all over? I've never seen these videos, and rather than me just telling you about my experience, let's rewatch these vlogs together, and we'll watch them in real time. And as we go through it, I'm going to separate these out into 5 videos, and I'll talk to you about each and every part of my SummerSlam 2021 journey. You can actually find these in a playlist right on my YouTube channel. It says SummerSlam 2021 Vlog. And again, it's been 2 years. I've never watched these back. God, it'll feel miserable if you walk out and then there's going to be like completely messed up audio or something. But I mean, I watched them before they went on. I guess I'll say that, but always do that. But yeah, so let's dive right into this here. We're going to do, this is going to be part 1. This is kind of our travel day, going from New York to Las Vegas. And as I watch this, I'll talk to you guys about what I remember most about the trip. So it's kind of your director's cut, if you will, with your alternate commentary to the vlogs. And obviously I'll have the link to the direct vlog in the comment section below. So let's go ahead and let's watch this here, starting with number 1. All right, so if you're doing this along with me at home, I'm going back to day 1 of the vlog. It says here on the channel, WWE Summerslam 2021 vlog, day 1, travel day, In-N-Out Burger, and more. So here we go. Let's check this out. And we start things off with the delicious In-N-Out burger. Ah, man, nothing better. Nothing beats In-N-Out burger for me. And away we go. We're in the car here on our way, going from New York to to Las Vegas. Our brother-in-law, my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, and I guess my daughter's uncle, is driving us to the airport here. He looks utterly exhausted. I am super amped up. I am to the next level of excited. Not only are we going to the first wrestling show we had been to in 18 months, but this is really the first time that we had gone to Vegas. We'd gone one other time, but that was particularly for somebody's birthday. So it really wasn't, we weren't able to really enjoy all things that Vegas had to offer. And I think I was really stoked for being able to just kind of do Vegas our own way and to have like a separate itinerary for everything. Not in the car with us is my mother. My mother did come with us on this trip, but we didn't have enough room for her in the car. So unfortunately, she had to take an Uber over to the airport. The reason my mom came on the trip is because when you do have a young one that you don't want to leave the baby. At the time, our baby here is I guess she's 1 year old at this point. So we didn't want to leave her at home. We wanted to bring her with, have her be able to experience it, do some family stuff while there as well. Because believe it or not, in Vegas, there is actually some family stuff you could do. We decided to bring my mother so my mother can hang with the baby at the hotel while we do some adulting at night. But then also, it was cool. It was fun to do stuff with my mom. I hadn't ever done a wrestling trip with her. She took me to many shows growing up, but never like a traveling trip. So I think it was cool for her to be able to experience what a big event like this was. And my brother-in-law there, he is very excited. He's pretty happy. You can see he's smiling, I think, because of the fact that we're going to SummerSlam. And we're just breaking down the card here. My wife in the back seat is also very excited. You can see I'm asking everyone what their favorite match is, and I think she's saying Eva Marie against Dewdrop. My wife, for some reason, is a massive and always has been a big fan of Eva Marie, and I remember her being very excited that Eva was back in 2021. If you even remember that was a match on the card. David's talking about, my brother-in-law is talking about how he thinks that Roman's going to retain. I was convinced going into the show that John Cena was going to win the title. And David, of course, also was joking around about the fact that he'd have to watch the show alone. David typically comes over to watch all the wrestling shows with us. We typically will split the cost of an AEW pay-per-view and we'll watch the big wrestling shows together. But when we travel, unfortunately, he's unable to kind of why he has to watch the shows, I guess by himself, and so he was joking around there. This is the brand new LaGuardia Airport. This had just kind of launched in 2021. You can see they've got the beautiful, I love traveling out of LaGuardia now. They have this beautiful waterfall, and we're just looking for some place to go and eat. Oh, the hideous masks. Who doesn't remember wearing masks? Here I am, maxed to the gills. This probably is not the most visually appealing. So you can see us on the flight there. Nice little picture of my mom, my wife, and I all maxed up, ready to go down to Vegas. And we did have a layover, which we noticed right at this trip that having a layover with a child is brutal. They do not understand the idea that you're getting to a place and they think once you're at your destination, they're ready to run out and just start the vacation. And they do not understand that, hey, we just got to wait around for an hour to get on another flight. So we've tried to do nothing but nonstop flights ever since this trip with our daughter, but it was brutal. And there I am. I'm talking about because we were in a stopover in Chicago, and so I'm going on and on talking about the excitement of AEW at the time. Remember, they were doing their first Rampage show, and there was a big rumor. Yeah, so we start talking about how I'm talking about how there's going to be a big show in Chicago because there was a rumor that CM Punk was going to be coming back for that event. And a lot of people I knew in the wrestling vlog community were actually doing a trip from New York, from wherever they were, going to Chicago and then going to Vegas. A lot of people did that. That was like the big wrestling weekend thing to do that weekend, was go to Chicago for Rampage and then go to WWE for Vegas. Now we are going, now we've landed in Vegas. You can see we're very, very excited about being in here, we're taking the shuttle over to the airport. You can see there was a casino directly in the Las Vegas airport. So literally, if you want to start gambling, you can do it right as you don't even need to get your you don't even need to go get your luggage. You could start playing with whatever chump change is in your pocket there. And my wife's already talking about trying out different types of frozen drinks. This is probably my favorite scene of the entire video here on the first day is when we got to the airport to get our luggage, and there's the big video mural pumping up to all things SummerSlam, and with the Cardi B backdrop, just an awesome song, super hip to have that song there. I thought that was really cool. Great theme song, really well done in terms of how that kind of continued and added to the hype of SummerSlam. And of course, first day there, it's always tough first day, especially when you go New York to California. With all the travel, we're pretty tired, but we always usually start our day with a little trip to In-N-Out Burger. Believe it or not, we still don't have one in the East Coast, which is just crazy. And so whenever we get there, we always usually end up going twice whenever we're on the West Coast to In-N-Out Burger. Now finally, we're checking into our hotel. You can see our daughter, she's only 1, but she is amped up. She's ready to go and raring to go as we're going to the elevators to get up to her room. And I think here I'm just breaking down kind of that first day. First day is always tough when you travel. Traveling just knocks you out, and I always feel like I do whatever it takes to kind of not just immediately go to the room and go to sleep, but it usually happens. There's usually not much that happens on the first day of vacation. I feel like it's just whatever you can get in on your first day of vacation, I think is important to do. But I think at the end of the day, it's, only so much you can do. And I'm talking about how rough of a day it is. But I'm excited to be at the Excalibur Hotel. We were there for the first couple days. We wanted to get 2 different hotels in on the Strip. And so here I am here talking about being at the Excalibur Hotel, showing that off, and getting Dairy Queen. I'm not a huge Dairy Queen fan, if I'm being honest. Hopefully my mother isn't watching this. She probably is. Sorry, Mom. But my mom loves Dairy Queen. So when she saw there was a Dairy Queen in the corridor, she had me go down and go get the family some ice cream. And I was showing off that they had kind of a Dave & Buster's type of arcade over there. Also had like a medieval times type show called the Tournament of Kings. Of course, I made a joke asking if Triple H was going to be a part of that, but that was a show we unfortunately did not get to. And that is the end of our first day. So, again, easy peasy type day, fun day. You're excited to be there. You're taking it all in. And unfortunately didn't have too much there in terms of, I feel like now, because I travel a lot for work, and I'm used to the travel of like you land and then you just continue to start working. And the first time I did it, it was a shell shock for me. But I think that's actually made me a little bit better of a traveler in terms of that first day. But yeah, so that was the first day of the vlog, and we'll be back to break down the second day of the vlog here in the next video.